Sorry about that. All right, I'm starting over. Hi, everybody. It's Friday, and it's journal demo day. This week I've been working with Redesign and Finnabair products from Prima. And so today I'm actually just going to layer up on what I did last week, which was working with Tim Holtz Distress products. And I did my usual layout with his paints and sprays and things like that. And then this week I've been working with decals and texture, and so I will just show you how to combine the two. So let me see if I can do this without turning off the video. Get this. Sorry, small hand. So that you can see it. Sorry. There we go. Got to get the cap in the right spot. There we go. And get this so that it doesn't fall. All right. And then still figuring out how to work with this. It's got a light attached to it, so it's both. The idea is that you'll be able to see more. All right, I think I got it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Push the book up a little bit.
It bumps into the...
Oh, it bumps into the...
Yeah, I can do that. All right, so what I have here on top, I mean, this is my journal from last week, but these are what I did yesterday, working with jelly prints and then layering up with the decals and stuff, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. They're really fun. And so today I'm going to do basically the same thing, just on top of my texture. And so you know, I rarely layer up, but when I do, I sometimes do this doodly stuff. And then let's see, I know I have one in here where I put a paper doll down, which maybe I should go back and finish up, because this is where I collaged underneath first. Gosh, I have some empty pages. Went through a skippy stage, obviously. Oh, it was much earlier on than that, huh? Where's my paper doll? Oh my goodness, looking back on these. Should just do it. Maybe today we should do a, at the beginning of the pandemic, I should do a flip through for the reel today. So here's one where I put something down and layered up. And again, it feels a little plunked, so I will probably come back in and add some elements to make this feel a little less like these are just floating on top of the page. Again, when that happens, you want to do something that makes them all read together as one object, and so layering on top and making sure things touch is a really important tool for that. Anyway, I am going to today layer up on this, and I'm just going to use these really pretty things from, here's the stencil I've been using, and here are the decals, and they're just so pretty. Aren't they pretty? And I learned really early on not to try and put the, just, you know, work with the whole sheet, that you should cut each piece out that you want. And so I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate the first one. And I also realized early on that I am not a jaunty angle kind of person. And I tried it on the project that I did on Wednesday, which is, I did some of this on top of the cabinet in the bathroom, so part of a bathroom redo that I'm doing. I don't like that. I like it to be squared off, like a specimen rack. And I just want to show you how this will work on something with a lot of texture and a rough surface, because it worked really well on top of the slick alcohol ink print, and it worked really well on top of the rough jelly print. So that's paint. This was alcohol, which, you know, dries really flat. So now I'm going to show you what it will do on top of, this is the watercolor paper. This is a burlap under there. So we'll see what it does. So this is a rub-on transfer. There are other transfers out there that require you to wet. They act more like a decal, so you wet them down and then you slide the back off. I think almost all the Dress My Craft transfer stuff works that way. But as you can see, once it's down, a couple things. One is that the images are backed with white, and so you can still see it quite brightly, even though there's all of this texture and color underneath. And it's a smooth surface. It's actually got a lovely matte texture to it that I love touching. And again, on this piece, it incorporates so beautifully into the paper, you wouldn't know it wasn't just printed there. So yeah, so it does the same thing here. Beautifully integrates. I'm going to go ahead and put this one down. This one has been cross-contaminated by another image because I was not careful enough. They are a little sticky. So let's do this one. Can you see this one, Kendall, if I do it here? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this one's on top of the burlap, so even more crunchy texture underneath this. So we'll see how this goes down. You can do this with any kind of rub-on, or you could do it with collage tissue as well. That's another thing. I sell quite a bit of collage tissue. I've got a bunch from Stemperia. And then I have some Jane Davenport collage tissues, and Redesign actually has collage tissues as well, so they have them as well as these decals. So that one you can see the texture through a little bit because it's just so knobbly, but look how pretty that looks. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. I've got dragonflies and butterflies and some florals, and then there's some words in there. I don't know if I'll use the words. In the end, I'm not actually a word person, even though they're pretty.
Michelle and Lois say hi.
Hi ladies, thanks for joining us.
And Michelle loves the Prima transfer.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful? I have a bunch too. This isn't all I have. I've got, so this is the papillon and the dragonfly pack, but I also have one with really pretty birds. I have one with horses, which, you know, was a nod to being in Chatsworth.
I'm putting them all up in the chat.
Yay, thank you.
But the butterflies are not up yet on the...
They are.
They are.
I put them here yesterday.
Okay,
Papillon. They're not called butterflies, it's called papillon.
Oh,
So,
papillon.
papillon.
Oh, here we are. Okay,
Papillon.
sorry.
Papillon, that's right. Why am I saying
French.
papillon? French. En français.
French, yes.
I know.
Great.
I tried reading the French yesterday. I think I embarrassed myself completely. Yeah, these transfers are gorgeous. They really genuinely are. And I don't say that lightly. I take my, you know, it used to be that you would see a rim around them. And you can if you really, really, really look close. But for the most part, they have really taken their time and designed them so that, you know, that the white really only covers the design. And so you have a little rim. I don't know if you can see that, a little rim of transparency around it. But otherwise... it's I'm just putting this down because it had come off its backing anyway. The white really just highlights the color of the transfer, so it really does look real when it goes down. And it's such a vast improvement of the rub-on transfers of my youth, of our youths, right, ladies?
I remember doing them for sure.
Yeah. And I don't remember what context we would have done, what letters. I remember letters, maybe for posters and things like that. Back when you couldn't print everything on your...
I can remember them coming, like, the Archies or something, like comics.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm recalling that. Or, wait a minute, I'm having this...
Yeah. Are you having a flashback?
Yeah, I am.
Let's see.
Yeah, like cartoons or TV shows or something like that.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to do those things because my mom was Waldorf without sending me to Waldorf.
Oh, was she? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's the same butterfly. Oh, okay. Didn't realize that. I've got multiples. And I did muck that one up, so that's a shame. I can't use that one, but I'll use this one instead. I might have to pull a second pack of these. So ladies, come and buy them now because I am using them up. I like them so much. Ooh, you can tell I'm getting into it. I've stopped talking. All right. I am going to add a little bit of texture. I was working, this is a Finnabair stencil, and you can see it's pulled off some. I pulled it brand new because I really wanted it to express the texture really well. And I'm using it, oh, this is not lasting well. I'm using it with the this paste. I'm really not a fan of these pots, I'm gonna be honest. So this stencil, I'm using it with the icing paste, and this is an old jar, and this is her vintage gold. I've had this jar out for a couple of months, a few months, let's be fair, it's been a few months. And honestly, so that's, I don't know if you can see how some of it, like the stuff on the side is hard, the stuff here is getting a little crusty, the stuff in the middle is the way I expect it to be, more creamy. So just keep that in mind, this stuff does not last super long once you open it. It should be fine sitting unopened on the shelf with the little packet. You know, one thing I do, I'll be honest, one thing I do is I actually take that white bit out of the lid. And that, now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably not a good idea. That's probably why my paints aren't lasting, or these ones, because they do dry quickly. That's, you know, and that's one of the things you want, is you want, when you're using these things, to dry quickly. I'm not loving how this is expressing itself. I'm shocked I say. So let's see what happens if you know, this gold is not gleaming, and I'm getting a nice impression of it, almost too stark on this page. So I just tamped down some of the bits. Don't know what I just dropped, but all right. Well, you know, the color's brightening up as it dries. Part of that might have been me just being a little aggressive. Okay, and you know what? Couple things. I also have a stamp that I grabbed that I want to use, and I've got this archival ink. These are permanent once they're dry. This is watering can. Oh, that was backwards. This is a old stamp from, what's his name? Tim Holt. And this is an easy way to do that thing where you add a layer and you make sure it touches more than one thing, and it incorporates your object down into the piece. Do you see? I'm really hoping that you can see how almost instantaneous that is when you do it right. Even if you just have a little veil that happens over the page, that can really read in your mind, you know, to the viewer's mind, that there is the page is cohesive. And so I use that word a lot because that's what I mean. You know, that's genuinely what I mean. You're trying to create cohesion in your page, and so you want some of these layers to sit on top of each other and interact, because that's what creates cohesion visually. And the eye likes it. There's lots of reasons not to do it, like if you're trying to make someone uncomfortable with your artwork, or if you're just doing it for your own damn self and who cares what it looks like for someone else, then, you know, do what you want. But if you want something that feels complete, one of the things you can do is layer. Layer. Like a layer cake.
Michelle is suggesting, she said that Finnabair says you can reconstitute
I didn't know that.
with water if it's not completely hard.
Huh. Okay,
So
maybe I'll give that a try. Well, hello, why don't we do it? Why don't we just test her theory right now? I have like abandoned bottles of water that are always sitting next to me at my desk. So let's see how true that is. Oh, like alchemy. I don't know. Do you guys see what's happening here? You can tell me whether or not you think this is a success. I'm not done yet, but...
We need a little whisk, one of those mini whisks.
Blender. I was just actually thinking about doing a class on paper making, talking about blenders. I just thought that might be kind of fun.
Lois thinks it's helping.
You think so? You think that's
Lois is.
turning into something?
Lois votes for yes.
I don't know. This looks like a little like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese. Which I'm the generation that was told cottage cheese was good for you, and so I've never eaten it. Never, never, never. Though I'm guessing it tastes actually pretty good. I don't know. So now I've got this sort of mealy stuff. It's almost like, what's the word? Oatmeal? Oatmeal-y?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my hand's getting tired. Let's just do this. It's interesting, the blue hue. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like this tingy, purpley tinge to it now. And I've got a couple flakes from her other paint in there I can see. That's because I'm not careful. It might be working. So if you want to go through this and reconstitute some of your stuff, you know, I did just take a class with her and she did mention something like that. I blew over it because, you know, I'm just a little on the lazy side, so I generally wouldn't have taken the time to do this, but I'm also having one of those weeks where most of what I'm wearing ends up with paint on it. It happens sometimes. I end up pinky. So I'm just scraping this on now instead of. So the bits that were liquid are, you know, I can scrape on with a little gleam. The bits that are not liquid don't seem as happy about it. They seem a little dull. Anyway, that was an interesting experiment. It's a way to come in and add some visual interest, picking up some of that texture that's underneath from last week. Just scraping a little gleam onto my page. Ugh. I honestly would not put this through a, I wouldn't use this on a stencil now. It's just too compromised. It's too weird. Maybe if I had a mortar and pestle and could really sit here and grind it together.
What if you smeared it with your finger? Is that good?
Sorry, I laugh because, believe it or not, I have no problem getting paint on my hands, but I am not super excited about smearing with my finger. I do it sometimes. Oh, and now I have paint on my ears. Great. I tend to do it to highlight. I don't like to finger paint particularly. You know what? I'm moving on. That was fun. And this also might be. See, I'm not a fan of the pots. It's just not. All right. You know, it is a function of this industry that, you know, you're often in the room with designers while they're trying to deal with their stuff, and there's often, you know, especially with packaging, there are often malfunctions, and it's always interesting to see the designer, you know, because the designer comes from a point of view of like, here's this product, I want to get this product out, and the packaging comes from someone else, generally. And so, or they have a packaging idea, but functionally it doesn't work that well. And in these classes, they're often like, you know, that tip to water the stuff down, that comes from the fact that people are struggling with their mediums drying out. And I've had designers show you how to tape their tubes closed because they pop open at the end. Dina Wakely, you know, is always telling people how to deal with the fact that her sprays clog. So, you know, it's form versus function is it's quite the debate. If that phone rings, will you just hang up on it? Not right now, because though it is 10:20. Oops. Okay, so that was fun. I'm gonna add some more butterflies because I can. I have more butterflies.
Is that the same packet from yesterday? Or
It is. Think
It's
about
an
how,
abundance of butterflies,
yes,
yeah.
think how many butterflies I've gotten out of this. So many butterflies. And now I'm adding it down over some of the gold that I just plunked down. So layering up in places.
The Dress My Craft rub-ons have a white a white top, so you can't really see that well.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's nice to be able to see through that.
That's a big deal.
I think so. Yeah.
Huh.
So you have to kind of wait till it gets. Well, that's also a water. They want you to use water.
Yeah, but that shouldn't make a difference. I mean, maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a possibility. Nope, too square. See, and then I just go and do that, and I ruin it. You know what? I didn't like it in conjunction with the butterfly down here. But this is one of those moments where, like, I rarely audition my collage pieces, but if I had auditioned a little early on and had everything kind of laid out before I rubbed it down, I might have been able to address that a little more. So I have a second stamp. This one that's under there is a Tim Holtz, one of his older ones. This is a one called from Stampington, which are the people who do the what's it call it? The magazine, the what's the art journal magazine? Yeah, and the other one, yeah.
I have a wooden ledger on the website, but it's by Christine Adolf.
Oh, well, that would be the artist maybe who does it.
Yeah.
Is it $14.50?
It is.
And then that's it.
Dry goods ledger with mounted skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the company that produces it, and then there's the person who designed it. So if I were the kind of person who would add a word, which I am not, but I'm going to anyway for the sake of demonstration. You know, I have the choice of throwing this down so that it interacts with something. I'm having a messy day. You guys have messy days? I'm having a messy day. Just everywhere. All right, I don't remember what I was saying. These are genuinely live videos, everybody. You do not practice these ahead of time. Which could not be more obvious. So, there's the word dream. It has a nice rustic appeal to it because it's a little compromised. Let's see, what else? Ooh, here, or just go for it. Let's just lean into this, Angharad. I am going to cut that out because I don't want it to say Paris on it. I'm not a Parisophile. Periophile.
When I was looking at the Dress My Craft workshop, they were showing the decals on candles and coffee mugs.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, you could put them anywhere.
everything.
Coffee mugs is interesting though, because I would think that there would be a risk. Okay, so I pulled some of the decal off onto my hands. I am having a morning. You would think I didn't have my coffee, but I did. 100% had my coffee. All right, that's also a little rustic. Oh my goodness, so I have to sort through my bits because some of this has some left and some of this is just garbage. Got some butterflies, some stampy bits. Oh, I've got this. This is kind of cute. There. If I want the two sides to read with each other, then maybe I just need a little something that goes across the the divide. Not really sure what this little decal means, to be honest. I see it says the Princess of Wales.
It's hard to read from here.
Yeah. Some sort of, there. Again, I'm okay with it being a little rustic. Oh, that's weird. Looks like I peeled off some of it. Didn't adhere. I'm just going for it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all.
So Lois has a nice comment. She says, besides the demo, she also likes to see how to fix or work around the boo-boos.
Good, because they happen. All the time. As you can see.
3 minutes till the
Oh, right. I have an appointment at 11 today, ladies, so I will be ending on time for reals. Anyway, that's kind of fun, right?
just froze also.
It just froze. Frickin' sorry. Facebook. That's why it froze.
It froze at a nice moment where you're holding the, is it loved?
Loved.
Yeah, that's where it froze.
All right. Well, you know what? It says that it's still going here. Unfrozen now, she says. Yeah, just.
That was so cool.
Ugh. So let me get this set up so that it doesn't wobble, and so you can see my face.
Lois says it's unfrozen now.
Ah, can I just say,
Likes
technology.
how you're
Keeping it real. Thank you. Totally intentionally.
She can see you, I can't see you, but that's okay.
Did it. I did it. You guys are square. I'm square. All right. So that's how to use decals. The transfers from Prima. And not sure if I like it or not. I will have to take some time with it. Some of the butterflies don't pop as much as I would like them to, so maybe I'll go and highlight them. Not sure. Anyway, it's not finished yet. I will layer up in some way since I'm not super happy with it. But I wanted you to see how those work and how you can incorporate them into your designs, and that, you know, I usually stop at texture and color, but you certainly don't have to. You can use it as a background and go up from there. So hope to see you in the store. Come back at 1. We have stuff to show you today. All right. Bye, everyone.